whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Wonderful. Thank you, Tom, Taylor, and Abigail, and Program Director Ashley Higginbotham. This year's My Ladies Manor Steeplechase races feature 4 races over the stiff timber obstacles you see. We'll be racing throughout the afternoon. The post times will be 45 minutes apart. Our first steeplechase is the My Ladies Manor, the feature brought to you by our partner Class Produce, and has a 1:30 post time. The second and third races will be the first and second divisions of the John Rush Street Memorial. The first division is brought to you by Round Top Mountain Resort. Post time will be 2:15. Second division of the John Rush Street Memorial is brought to you by Gladden Farm with a post time of 3 p.m. Today's fourth and concluding race is the John D. Shapiro Memorial, sponsored by Janie Montgomery Scott. Post time for our last race this afternoon will be 3:45. Before we start the races this afternoon, we'd like you to please listen to these important messages. They're for the safety of horses and riders, as well as you, the spectators. Please, absolutely, no unleashed dogs on the course at any time. Please immediately obey the clear the course instructions when they're given from either the announcer or race officials. We do take your safety seriously. You need to know where your small children are, particularly during the running of the races. And for those of you who are tailgating, please keep your sound systems at a moderate level so that everyone can hear the announcements. Please use the trash receptacles provided. Broken bottles and cans are hazardous to horses and cows that graze in these fields the rest of the year. We know that this is an open, inviting area, but for safety reasons, absolutely can't have any drones. There is a first aid tent located on the side of the course next to D&G Pit Beef, and the racecourse gates will be closed and locked promptly at 5:30 p.m. So, no scratches for the first race, the feature, the 108th running of the My Ladies Manor. Race will run as carded.
Ladies. Test. There we go. Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching My Ladies Manor Steeplechase races today, April 14th, 2018. The races will begin shortly. The horses have gone into the paddock. So welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the My Ladies Manor Steeplechase race. This is Short County represented by PNC and the lovely grounds of the Elkridge Hartford Hunt Club for the benefit of a beautiful Manor Foundation. Today's steeplechase racing begins at 1:30 with the running of the featured 108th My Ladies Manor race. The horses will begin arriving in the paddock for the short race shortly. I believe they're actually already there, and we'll be back to you with more time a little bit later on. More information a little bit later on. The races are probably about 15 or 20 minutes out. If you stand by, we'll get you a shot of some horses. And there are some horses in the paddock, as you can see them right this second.
You can let them through.
Test.
That's what it's doing. Alright? Just really hard to. Right. We're walking back, but.
The My Ladies since 1936 with a full line of fruits and vegetables as well as fresh cuts, tropical and specialty items. My Ladies Manor carries a $30,000 purse. The owner of the winner also receives the perpetual bowl in memory of Jane and Fisher Jr. to be held for 1 year, along with permanent trophies to the owner, trainer, and rider. No scratches in our first race, the 108th running of the My Ladies Manor. Once again, no scratches here in the first race. We do have some silk changes, and we'll give you those as we run through the field. We get At the beginning with the number 1 is Zhang Cluse, owned by Sarah E. Collette, trained by Neil Morris. Rider is Darren Nagel, and he will be in the black NSA silks, black silks with pink lettering and a green cap. The number 2 is Upland Partners Mystic Strike, trained and ridden by Mark Beecher. The number 3 is Drift Society, owned by Brutton Street US, trained by Jack Fisher, ridden by Hayden Frost. The number 4 is Armada Stables Wildcatter, trained by Elizabeth Voss, and ridden by the imported Major Harry Wallace of the King's Troop. Number 5 is Welcome Here Farms Where's the Beef, trained by Stephanie Dowling. Chris Gracie is the rider. Rounding out the field is the number 6, Straight to It, owned by Sheila J. Williams and Northwood Stable. Jack Fisher, the trainer. The rider is Willie McCarthy. And we have riders up in the paddock now for our first race, the 108th running of the My Ladies Manor. The other silks change in the race, the number 6, Straight to It, also will run in the black NSA silks, but has a red cap. So the number 6, Straight to It, in black and pink with a red cap, and the number 1, Zhang Cluse, also in the NSA silks, but with a green cap. Horse is coming on course now for the 108th. Heads up, ladies and gentlemen. Horses are on course now and on their way to the start for the 100th of the My Ladies Manor Steeplechase, sponsored by the Produce Group. Horses on course now for the first race.
steeplechase races. This webcast is brought to you by Brown Advisories.
Please clear the course, ladies and gentlemen. Please clear. Horses are at the course, ladies and gentlemen. Horses have reached the start.
Once again, horses have reached the start.
My Ladies Manor and our understarters orders. And the horses are getting ready to come out across the course. And the flag is up. Field all in line. And they're off and running in the 108th My Ladies Manor. Speed duel at the front, and quickly there, it's Zanclus. And Darren Nagel with the advantage over Drift Society in second. To the outside of him is Wild Catter. Then comes Where's the Beef? And straight to it as they disappear out of sight for a brief time along the bottom. We'll come back into view before the stack fence. And it's Zanclus still with the lead by a length. Where's the Beef in second? Drift Society in third. Another gap of 3 to Wild Catter. As they run down through the cover, and they'll head to the water fence next. back into view over the water fence, heading towards Pocock Road. At the front, it's Zencluse by 2.5. Drift Society moves back into third, as Where's the Beef takes over second place, Wildcatter in fourth. As they head up Pocock Road and get ready to make the turn and come back to the center of the course, it's Zencluse by 4. Duel in second place there. On the outside, it's Wildcatter. To the inside, Where's the Beef? Then comes Drift Society saving ground on the inside. Behind him is Straight to It, and Mystic Strike is your trailer off the back of the field, loose now by about 5 lengths. Stack fence up and over that one, and rolling along a nice clip here at the front as they descend the hill and head back through the cover and get ready to mount the challenging hill up here in the stretch. Through the cover and out the other side, Zencluse by 4. Wildcatter in second. Now moving next to him, it's Drift Society. Those two jump it as a team. Then comes Where's the Beef? Another length back. 2 more to Straight to It. And Mystic Strike still the trailer now, and about 7 lengths off the back as they head up the hill and towards the black post and rails here in the chute before the steward stand. And at the top of the hill, same as it has ever been, is Darren showing the way. Take down the front of that one. Drift Society moves into second place by 3 lengths. Then comes Wildcatter, another 2 back, and just a length to Straight to It. Then Where's the Beef? Another 3 lengths behind him and the trailer, and getting all the advantage of the timber knocked down on the fence is Mystic Strike. And the pace has been brisk, and it's still Zencluse and Darren Nagel at the board fence as they head towards the loop on Pocock Road. Zencluse by 3, and Drift Society by another 2.5. Straight to It now in third, gap of 3 to Wildcatter behind him. And Mystic Strike has picked up some ground on the field now, just 2-3 lengths out of it, as already Zencluse and Darren Nagel are making the turn, and it's almost cutting time as they head back towards the tower. Post and rails. Zencluse, the big chestnut, gallops up and over that one, a tough one, but Darren Nagel stays in the tack and still enjoys a 4-length advantage, as Hayden Frost and Drift Society tracking intently there, just 5 lengths off him, and another 3 back to Straight to It, then a gap of 8 to Mystic Strike, and Wildcatter another 10 behind him. And Darren Nagel, no spare, no jack, he's not looking back as he lets the big horse roll down the hill on the Jarrettsville Pike. Darren Nagel and Zencluse trying to take this one wire to wire. Drift Society, Hayden Frost still tracking intently in second place. Straight to It moved a little bit closer to him, now only a half length back in third. And then another 7 to Mystic Strike as they made the turn to the bottom, and tight to the beacon they were, and it's still Zencluse and Darren Nagel with 7 lengths. Straight to It now moves into second place. Drift Society laboring on in third, just 2 fences left to go for Zencluse and Darren Nagel. Now just 1, and he's really letting them roll as he comes to the last of the board fence. Zencluse at the last with Darren, but he's up there and galloping through the stretch. It's a tour de force performance. Darren Nagel and Zencluse galloping to victory here by at least 20. Wire to wire in second place, Straight to It. And in third, Mystic Strike. Fourth goes to Drift Society. Horses coming back to the tower now. Your unofficial winner, the 108th running, the My Ladies Manor, sponsored by the Class Produce Group. Unofficially, your winner is the number 1 Zanclus, with the number 6 Straight to It in second place. The number 3 Drift Society rounding out the placings in third. Once again, that result is unofficial.
You'll bring him in here so that you just squat down if you can.
Once again, the unofficial winner, the number 1 Zanclus, the number 6 Straight to It in second place, and the number 2 Mystic Strike in third. Drift Society was in the 4th spot. The official time for the 3 miles over timber, 5:47 flat. Once again, 5 minutes 47 seconds flat for your unofficial winner, the number 1 Zanclus.
Alright, so they're getting ready for the next race, Bug. Where do you want to be?
Good luck today. Good luck. We always do. Right here. Well, I mean, that's where you're supposed to. But you can't.
Horses and riders are on their way to the paddock now for a second race. The first division of the John Rush Street Memorial, sponsored by Round Top Mountain Resort. This is a maiden event, 3 miles, only one kind of fence here, and that's timber. There are no scratches to the second race. In the meantime, we'd like to ask you to join us in thanking and supporting the following companies and individuals who are generously partnering with the 2018 My Ladies Manor Steeplechase races. PNC, the Class Produce Group, Round Top Mountain Resort, Janie Montgomery Scott, our friends from Jones Junction, the Mills of Bel Air, Black Horse, Hereford, and Whiteford, Harford County Government, Barry Glassman, Harford County Executive, the Ashley Addiction Treatment Center, Cambria Veterinary Center, and Gladden Farms, Coldwell Banker Advisory, Jeremy and Justin Batoff, Gowan USA LLC, Smith & Company, Dental Practitioners, Ladue Gardens, Baltimore Canvas Products, and O'Connor, Mooney, and Fitzgerald. Other partners for today's races include Atlantic Tractor, Kinsley Construction, the Manor Tavern, Bill Reitler Sales Agency, and Sagamore Spirit, the Julia Jitkoff Foundation, Maury Donnelly and Parr, Iron Horse Construction, Fidelity Engineering, Ronnie's Beverage Warehouse, Klein's Family Markets, and the Maryland Jockey Club.
Right here, Naz. Yep.
Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the 108th running of the My Ladies Manor Steeplechase. I am Willie McCarthy, and I will be your presenter today. We just seen a very exciting first race, the Manor Steeplechase, the stake, won by Zanclius and Darren Nagel, and straight to it with myself, Willie McCarthy, finished second for Jack Fisher. One horse that pulled up early in the race was Where's the Beef. I can report that he has returned to the stable and he is fine.
First division of the John Rush Street Memorial, sponsored by Round Top Mountain Resort. Here's your field for the second. The number 1 is Move Up Stables and Sally Reed's It's Nothing, trained by Catherine Nelson. Rider is Eddie Keating. The number 2 is Armada Stables Vintage Vinny, trained by Joe Davies. Rider is Chris Gracie. The number 3 is Ray Delight, owned by Heather Austin. Mark Beecher trains and rides. The number 4 is River D Stables Jewish Holiday, trained by Jack Fisher. Hayden Frost, the rider. The number 5 is Avila Arpitz's Simply Certain. Richard Valentine is the trainer. McLean Hendricks in the irons. The number 6, Take Points and Run, owned by Irv Naylor, trained by Billy Meister, ridden by Brian Cullinane. Rounding out the field, the number 7 is Thomas A. Hulfish III, Formidable Heart, trained by Neil Morris, will be ridden by Archie McCauley. And we have riders up now in the paddock for our second race, the first division of the John Rush Street Memorial, sponsored by Round Top Mountain Resort. We have riders up in the paddock.
From Tennessee to Maryland and Ascot to Cheltenham, Brown Advisory supports the hard work, dedication, and love for competition that defines the horse racing spirit. Since its founding in 1993, Brown Advisory has cheered from stables and fence lines and is excited to share this passion through the sponsorship of racing across the U.S. and U.K. Visit brownadvisory.com to see how they can help you achieve your financial goals.
On board today.
We have one change in colors. The number 7 Formidable Heart will be running in the NSA Silks. So the number 7 Formidable Heart is running in the pink silks with a black helmet cover. Now horses coming on course now for the second race, the first division of the John Rush Street Memorial, sponsored by Round Top Mountain Resort. Horses and riders now coming onto the course for the second race. Attention please, ladies and gentlemen. Heads up, horses are on course now and have arrived at the start for the second race. If we could please close the gates on the course, please close the gates and clear the course in preparation for the running of the second race, first division, the John Rush Street Memorial, sponsored by Round Top Mountain Resort. Once again, please close the gates and clear the course.
Let's go.
And our field is now assembled at the start. And our understarters orders. Turn that down a little, please. And the field is closed up and is circling before the start. And they're coming onto the course and coming into line. And they'll take one more turn around. And the flag is up. Field coming into line. And they're off. Quickest away, Vintage Vinny, first at the first, was Simply Certain in second place. Then comes Take Points and Run, Formidable Heart down on the inside, Jewish Holiday. Then comes Ray Delight as the field vanishes briefly out of sight along the bottom. And we'll come back into view in just a moment. It was Vintage Vinny with the lead, and that's still where he is. 5 lengths clear of the rest. Vintage Vinny over the stack fence in second place. Take Points and Run. And then running together, Simply Certain and Formidable Heart as they come through the cover, and we'll head to the war fence next. Along the bottom, and Vintage Vinny, 8 lengths on top of Take Points and Run in third place. Formidable Heart, gap of 2 to Simply Certain. Then comes Radolite and Jewish Holiday, and your early trailer is It's Nothing as they head to the next board fence and up Pocock Road. Same as it's been from the start, Vintage Vinny, now working on a 10-length lead as he makes the turn back towards the center of the course. Stack fence is next, and Vintage Vinny all alone at the front, now 12 lengths to the good. As they run down to the cover in second place, still a lot of ground to cover, is Take Points and Run as they come back through the cover, and it will be the daunting Post and Rails and the hill, and Vintage Vinny still maintaining a considerable advantage. Let's call it 12 lengths at the front. In second place, take points and run. He's got 4 on Formidable Heart, who has 3 on Simply Certain, and comes Ray to Light and Jewish Holiday. And your trailer 3 lengths further back is It's Nothing, as mounting up to the top of the hill, Vintage Vinny. He's been all alone by varying degrees from the outset. And over the first of the 2 black post and rails, Vintage Vinny coming under the steward stand for the first time and gets a piece of that, but still 15 lengths up, tracking intently. In second place, take points and run. He's now got 10 on the posse behind him, which is led by Formidable Heart and Jewish Holiday, Simply Certain, Ray to Light, and It's Nothing. Still the trailer at the back as Vintage Vinny heads back towards Pocock Road, and still holding a large advantage, not quite what it once was, but plenty to work with, as he's got at least 15 to 18 as he steadies to come back to the post and rail and towards the steward stand. It worked in the last race. Will it work again? Vintage Vinny at the post and rails, and still in control. Now moving into second place, Formidable Heart. Shuffling back to third is Take Points and Run. Now Jewish Holiday coming up on the outside of him. Ray to Light down on the inside, and It's Nothing still at the back. Pulling up is Simply Certain, and rolling down the Jarrettsville Pike, it's Vintage Vinny. 18 lengths in front of Formidable Heart. Who's got 2 on Ray to Light. Then comes Jewish Holiday. Take Points and Run. And continuing on at the back, It's Nothing. But over the stack fence and into the turn, Vintage Vinny starts on up the hill, and it's still a considerable lead, but down to just 10 lengths, call that 8 lengths. And here comes Formidable Heart. He's set off in search of our leader. Can Vintage Vinny hold on? Just 2 to go now at the post and rail. Vintage Vinny still has the advantage, but here comes Formidable Heart taking a run at the leader, and it looks like he's come up next to him. Vintage Vinny on the inside, Formidable Heart on the outside. At that one, it's Formidable Heart with the lead, and now he's going to run on towards the wire. It's Formidable Heart, and he's got an 8-length advantage. Vintage Vinny is all done, and another impressive winner here at the Manor. In the first division of the John Rudd Street Memorial, it'll be Formidable Heart. Your winner in second place, Vintage Vinny. And in third, It's Nothing. Closing for the show. Big winners here at the front today. And unofficially, your winner, the number 7, Formidable Heart. Okay, leave this one here. We get a time. So in a time of 5:55, the winner is the number 7 Formidable Heart over the number 2 Vintage Vinny in second place, with the number 1 It's Nothing in third.
Hey, Win, we're not getting home tonight. Hey, Win. Hey, Win. Win.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm joined here by Walter Putterford Jr., handicapping guru here. Walter, that was a hell of a race, the maiden timber, going 3 miles over timber. What a win that was for Formidable Heart and young Archie McCauley, who you're pretty familiar with.
Yeah, Archie's actually living with me at the moment, and that was his first timber ride. He gave the horse a brilliant, very patient ride, and Vintage Vinny, I thought, looked the winner 4 out, but he kind of knocked up a bit, didn't he?
That was a real heartbreaker for Vintage Vinny. He had a big lead there at one stage. They whittled away at it halfway. You could see they closed up, and he was a third horse finishing.
The result is now official for the second race.
Neil Morris, 2 wins on the card already.
And here's the man, Archie himself.
Sponsored by Round Top Mountain
Ladies and gentlemen, joined here
winner.
quickly by Archie McCauley. Archie, how do you feel after that?
Oh, that was brilliant. The horse is a machine.
Horse jumped well for you?
Yeah. I missed the first big time, but apart from that, it was dynamite.
Well done, Archie. Your first winner in America?
That was my first ride in timber race, yeah.
And first ride over timber. Well, congratulations, and good luck for the rest of the day.
Thank you very
Come on.
much.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're just going to talk real briefly about the race with Walter here. Like we said, Vintage Vinny went into a huge lead, ended up finishing second afterwards, and the Neil Morris horse, Formidable Heart. Archie McCauley, he was patient with him, Walter, like you said. He had him mid-division. I could see him here at the halfway stage. He was slapping him down the shoulder, so it was quite a ride to get him up there to get the win and get the job done in the end.
Yeah, it was quite a ride considering the big, tall reputation that Vintage Vinny has, and to go after him, many lads, even professionals, would have let him go, and he chased that horse down, and in the end got it done very, very nicely, I thought.
No, Walter, you've been attending all the Point of Pints here pre-season, and we know this is where all the timber horses do most of their pre-season training and get all the schooling done. Now, Vintage Vinny coming into this race, he was after winning 3 races on the bounce, I believe. So Archie McCauley knew he had a tough job to beat him, but Vintage Vinny, he's been winning up in Pennsylvania, and he's been a very impressive horse.
He's been very impressive, but he's, that will be disappointing for them. I don't know where they'll go with him now, because he was a real talking horse, and they'll be disappointed with that. But Formidable Heart might be a high-class recruit to the timber ranks.
And we'll just mention quickly, Walter, the Caddy Nielsen horse, a 5-year-old, It's Nothing, and young Eddie Keaton for the move up stable, finished coming on 3rd place, and he looks like he'll be a winner waiting to happen pretty soon.
It's Nothing, lovely horse, and he had a real good point school there the other week, ran really well. Eddie Keating's a fantastic rider I think he's from Kilkenny or Tipperary Island, comes with a big reputation out the point-to-pointing field. He's a real rider to look forward to the future, and I think he's got a Hunt Cup ride, which is fantastic for him.
Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be back to you pretty soon to handicap the 2nd division, the 3rd race, the maiden timber. And we go Formidable Heart, the winner for Neil Morris and Archie McCauley. We'll be right back to you.
Flat for your winner. Congratulations, great photo op. And number 7, Formidable Heart.
It takes great dedication and focus to leave your mark. Brown Advisory works with individuals, families, and institutions to do just that. With offices in Austin, Baltimore, Boston, Chapel Hill, London, New York, Washington, D.C., and Wilmington, Delaware, Brown Advisory is committed to delivering first-class performance, thoughtful advice, and the highest level of service to its clients around the globe. Visit brownadvisory.com and see how they can help you achieve your financial goals.
I'm going first.
One does it better than the other.
Yes. Yes.
One listens.
The left one doesn't.
You see everything, Michael, when you come. Some days, some days. Your phone, I think it's out of tune. Right? I see it. Isn't that where
Not being immobilized.
And we're back here with another winner here at the steward stand, and joining me is Thomas Hullfish. Your trainer seems to be awfully hot. Tell me about Formidable Heart.
Well, he's a marvelous horse, and Neil found him. He called me from the barn. He said, "We got to get this one." And I said, "Neil, I can't do that." And he said, "Well, let me see what I can do." And I wasn't going to go here. So he talked to the folks, and they came down, and it's been a marriage built in a barn. And the breeder is now a friend of mine, and she bred the horse in Kentucky, but she lives on the West Coast. So it's a remarkable situation.
Well, that's terrific. I hope she's watching the live stream, and she's probably pretty excited as well.
She will. She will be.
What's next for Formidable Heart?
I think the Iroquois.
Dream big.
4 weeks from now.
Dream big.
Not the big one.
Well, congratulations. It was a nice closing win, and hope you enjoyed your day here in Maryland at the My Ladies Manor races.
Loved it. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Coming up next, the second division of the John Rush Street Memorial. Post time is 3 o'clock. In the meantime, we'd like to give you a further word about our partners here this afternoon. PNC is the presenting sponsor for the day of Maryland Country Sport. Achievement, it's all around you. It's everywhere you look. And at PNC, we believe in fostering our customers' achievements, big and small, because after all, there is an achievement in us. Feature is sponsored by Janie Montgomery Scott, and our horse number claws this afternoon are provided courtesy of The Mill. Ashley Addiction Treatment of Havre de Grace, Maryland is sponsoring today's emergency medical services, and Bill Reitler Sales Agency has contributed a $100 cash prize to be awarded to the attendant of the best turned out horse in each of our race afternoon. Atlantic Tractor is sponsoring the Gators, which are transporting jockeys and race officials around the course. We'd ask you to please visit the Atlantic Tractor John Deere display in the vicinity of the food vendors. Jones Junction is sponsoring the Jones Jumbotron. If you're enjoying seeing the races on the big screen, please visit the Jones Junction display, also in the vicinity of the food vendors. Harford County Government is sponsoring today's traffic direction by Harford County Sheriff's Department, and the Manor Tavern is the host of the official Manor Race after party. Ladue Gardens is proud to be involved this afternoon, and we'd like to welcome Sagamore Spirit, distilled from the same uniquely pure and naturally filtered spring that once powered the great native dancer. We're very proud to reunite two distinct Maryland traditions, steeplechase racing and Maryland-bred rye whiskey. Manor Races is pleased to have joined forces with Sagamore Rye Whiskey as one of our sponsors this afternoon. I'd also like to thank the Maryland Jockey Club, who is our tower sponsor for this year's races. Mark your calendars, the 143rd running of the Preakness Stakes at the historic Pimlico Racecourse is on May the 19th. And this year is the 10th anniversary of the Budweiser Infield Fest, with performances by Post Malone, Odessa, and 21 Savage. Alex?
Well, welcome back here, ladies and gentlemen, to the 108 running of the Manor Steeplechase. I'm joined again by Walter Putterford Jr. Bringing you big news from the first race. Zanclius set a new course record, 5 minutes and 47 seconds. Walter, they're really pressing along here today. Drying ground conditions. We're seeing sometimes they're really fast.
It was a very, very fast race, and Darren really walked, you know, if you want an example of front-running riding, that was it. Darren, absolutely impressive from the front end, but the horse is high class. They tell me he's going to the Vigil Cup, and I tell you what, it's going to take a mighty horse to peg that horse back on good ground, good firm ground in May. He's going to be very difficult to beat, Zanclius.
Well, now, Walter, we mentioned the Virginia Gold Cup, and that's hotting up to be a real hot race. We're going to have Doxy Boo from the Jack Fisher stable in there, and of course Grand Manan from the Billy Meister stable, owned by Armada. So the Gold Cup is really hotting up to be a great renewal this year, Walter.
It's going to be a clash of the titans, Willie, and you've got a lot of thinking to do, you and Billy Meister, the maestro, because Grand Manan likes to be on the front end, doesn't he, and dictating. How are you going to lay up with that fella today? I don't know, but there's a lot to think about for everyone. But Zanclius, to me, I'd make him odds on favourite 40 for the Virginia Gold Cup.
Yes, that was a very impressive performance by Zanclius today. Of course, like we said, a new track record, 5 minutes and 47 seconds, 4 seconds inside last year's track record, which was set last year. And I believe the maiden that just ran in 5 minutes and 55. So Walter, conditions here are drier than most years. The ground is drier, horses are getting around a lot quicker, and I can tell you from riding in the first race that the south side of the course is quite a bit softer than the north side. But some really good racing that we've just witnessed, Walter, and we've got 2 more great races to come up.
two more fantastic races. The maidens really, to me, seem to be the most competitive here. And this race, this is a really interesting race here. Some really nice horses, some European horses, and we, you know, it's going to be a really exciting maiden. It's probably better than the first maiden, in my opinion.
And of course, Walter, the first maiden we saw, Archie McCauley, we spoke to him quickly after the race. His first winner in America, gave that an absolutely perfect ride. And Neil Morris's horses are in great heart at the moment. I spoke right after the race, he's telling me that Formidable Heart will go to Nashville for the Timber Steeplechase down there.
And I wonder whether he'll take Archie with him, because those two seem to get on very well. I think professionals can ride in that race, though, Willie. Maybe you want to be calling Neil for that one, but yeah, no, that horse deserves to go to the Iroquois, he deserves to go to Nashville, and again, I think he's a really impressive recruit to the timber ranks.
And that's correct, Walter. Of course, Archie McCauley rode today. It was an amateur maiden race today, but I couldn't see why they'd change a combination like that to go down to Nashville. I'm sure they'll go down there and be a hot favourite going into that race. But ladies and gentlemen, we're going to leave you briefly here. Horses are being saddled and getting ready for the third race, and they'll be making their way to the paddock shortly. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm joined here by a very excited, very happy Neil Morris. Neil, you won the first two races here. Very impressive fleas. Anclus we'll speak about quickly first. Given a great ride by Darren Nagel, and that was a very impressive performance. A new track record. I didn't know if you knew that or not. Broke the track record by 4 seconds.
Very nice. Yeah, it looked like they were going in track record time, the way they were galloping around there. We wanted to bring him here to just get a line on him to see whether he was going to get nominated for the Gold Cup, or whether we were just going to hold him back into maybe some of the sub timber races. But he's been training awfully well. We've been looking for him to improve, and I think he has improved. And I think we we'll have a consultation, but we're probably going to go ahead and nominate him for the Virginia Gold Cup.
Okay, we just spoke briefly about myself and Manor before talking to you about Zanclius in the Gold Cup. Now that's heating up to be a really a big Gold Cup this year with likes of Doxy Boo and Grand Manan in there, and of course Zanclius. Now, I mean, it's going to be a hell of a race when they get down there to Virginia.
Yeah, there'll be plenty of front end speed. Maybe they'll set another track record. I hope not.
Maybe.
I hope not.
And you won the second race with Formidable Heart, who was a very, very nice type over hurdles for you, and he was given a nice patient ride by Archie Macaulay today. Didn't panic and chase the speed early, and he's got a hell of a career in front of him over Timber, this Formidable Heart. Where will he go next?
Yeah, so where he goes next, we don't know. We really don't know. We're not being coy. We thought he would jump around here and show a good account of himself, and he did. Archie did give him a very patient ride. There was way too much speed on the front end. I wasn't sure that we were going to be able to catch him to make up 15 lengths, but the other horse stopped, and my horse started to kick in through the gears, and I couldn't really see the stretch run because from where I was stationed. So I don't know how much he won by, but he looked like he was going nicely when he went by me. And that was going to the last fence.
And Neil, these horses have jumped very well here today. Did you get some point-to-point runs into them before coming here?
They both had one go around Piedmont point-to-point.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the point-to-points are a great way of schooling up, getting your fitness before coming to a sanctioned meet.
Right, so I've hunted both horses all winter. We hunt them hard. We hunted them, not hard, but we hunted them long season. We didn't race them in the fall, because we were cherry picking them to be timber horses for this season. We're going to do a stepping stone to link up the hunt field to sanction racing, so we just used a point-to-point for that. Actually, Darren Nagel rode both of them, and he won on both of them at Piedmont also. Nice horses. And it's a luxury to have nice horses like this.
It is a luxury to have nice horses. Well, Neil, that's a great way to start off the spring. A double here today at the Manor. Congratulations to you, and we wish you the best for the rest of the spring season.
And both horses have great owners, very supportive, very patient, and that's what's important and key for making these timber horses last.
Yes, we can't forget the owners, of course, huge supporters of the game, and great to give them a shout out also. Congratulations, Neil.
Thank you. Thanks, Will.
And the riders out to the paddock for the third race. This is the second division of the John Rush Street Memorial, sponsored by Historic Gladden Farm and Cambria Veterinary Center. Another maiden contest, and no scratches. Third will run as carded. And here's the field for the third. The number one is Hill Tie, owned by Sportsman's Hall. Trained by Joe Davies. Eric Peretz is the rider. The number two is Jeffrey G, owned by Jason L. Cole. Trained by the owner. Rider is Forrest Kelly. The number three is Irv Nair's Shinobi, ridden by Eddie Keating. Kathy Nelson is the trainer. The number four is Thistledown Farms Spirit of Shankly, trained and ridden by Mark Beecher. Up next, the number 5, Kinross Farms Pocket Talk, trained Joe Davey, rider Chris Gracie. The number 6, Northwood Stables and Sheila J. Williams, Jack Fisher, the trainer. The number 7 is Duke de Savoy, owned by Wits End Stable, trained by William, and Evan Dwan is the rider. And rounding out the field, the number 8 is Marybelle Stables Spoiler Alert, ridden by Brian Cullinan and trained by Billy Meister. There's your field for our third race, second division of the John Rush Street Memorial, sponsored by Gladden Farms and Cambria Veterinary Center. We'll have riders up in just a couple of moments here for the third race.
Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. The horses are preparing here in the paddock. The riders are about to get legged up, and we're in for an exciting maiden here. Walter, we're going to go through them real quickly. You've seen some of these perform in point-to-points prior to this race meet here today. And who do you fancy here, Walter?
High quality maiden this actually, Willie, and a few real nice types in here. The one I really like is Spirit of Shankly, former handicap chaser in the UK, trained by Charlie Longston, who brought a few horses over to Far Hills actually last fall. Charlie. This horse used to be trained by Paddy and Leslie Young, and now has gone timber racing with Mark Beecher, the maestro.
The maestro, Mark Beecher,
and,
right over timber.
And this horse has got a bit of class. He'll stay, he'll love the ground, he's a brilliant jumper. It'd take a very, very good horse to beat this one.
Now, Walter, you're in the Unionville area. Any word from the Cathy Nielsen charge here? Shinobi and Eddie Keating.
Shinobi's a very nice horse, and Cathy does a good job with these young timber horses. Eddie's a great young rider, and that would be my my forecast. Spirit of Shankly, closely followed by Shinobi.
Okay, Walter, I'm going to go for the Jack Fisher charge here. Cosworthy had a spin around in a point-to-point last week at Elkridge, ridden today by Hayden Frost, and the Giants Causeway angle is where I'm taking this from here. Giants Causeway is, of course, the sire of Grand Manan and some other great steeplechasers here in the US, and I'll be looking at him to come in here in front, and I think Spirit of Shankly in second. But it's going to be a good race. Like I said, they broke the track record here already today. The second race, the other maiden was running 5 minutes and 55, so this is going to be a fast renewal here also, Walter.
Going to be a very fast renewal. Keep your eye on the clock. I think this will be a faster race. You're right about the Giant Causeway angle. A lot of timber horses by Giants Causeway. Sovereign Fund, of course, trained by Stephanie Dowling. So this is a really good race. I think it'll be fast run. I think you'll see Spirit of Shankly start cranking it up from about 4 out, and I expect him to put 15-20 lengths on this field. That's how confident I am.
So, Walter, you're expecting a similar race than the second race we saw here. The leader's going to open up on the field here, and we're looking at a fast time again. You think there's going to be some daylight between the first and second early on here?
No, I think Spirit of Shankly will sit deep mid-div, but I think Mark will start winding it up 3 or 4 from home, and I think this horse will outgrind him. He's a real stayer. He's got a little bit of class, this fella, and I expect him to put daylight between the second, maybe Jack Fisher's Causeworthy and Shinobi, but I think this is a shoe-in. This is my nap of the day. You can bet the farm on this one.
Well, there you have it, folks. The sun is shining here on the hills of the Manor racetrack. A light breeze is just starting to pick up. I'm sure people will appreciate that, and also the horses. But there you have it now, folks. Spirit of Shankly for Walter Putterford Jr. And I'm going to go with Cosworthy, the Giants Causeway. We'll be right back to you after the race.
Please, ladies and gentlemen, horses are now on course for our third race of the afternoon, second division of the John Rush Street Memorial, sponsored by Gladden Farm and Cambria Veterinary Center. Heads up, please, ladies and gentlemen. Horses are on their way to the start for the third race. Attention, please. Please close the gates. Close the gates. The horses have reached the start for the third race. Please close the gates and clear the course. And a nicely mannered group of maidens circling for the final time before coming into line. The flag is up. And they're all in line, turning towards the front, and they're off. Exercise going to the front, it's Hilltie with the lead, and everybody's got a nice firm hold. In second place, that's Spoiler Alert down on the inside now, Pocket Talk. Moving up alongside of him, then Duke de Savoy is in fourth as they go briefly out of sight along the bottom. But a different start to this race. As the pace from the break was going down there was Cosworthy and Hayden Frost. And on to the water fence next. Hilltie is your leader. As they come back into view and head towards Pocock Road. New leader, Jeffrey G, is taken over from Hilltie. Now 2 place. Then comes Spirit of Shinobi. They're over the next as they come up the hill along Pocock. And making the turn back, it's Jeffrey G. Tie. Spirit of Shankly tracking nicely. Third, who's got 1.5 on Duke de Savoy, another 3 back to Spoiler Alert, and another 3 behind him to Pocket Talk, who is your trailer, as they come back through the cover, and they'll be heading up the hill. When they reemerge, and Jeffrey G, 3 lengths to the good of Hilltie. Behind him, another 3, Spirit of Shankly and Duke de Savoy. running alongside each other. Then comes Shinobi, another 2 to Spoiler Alert, and another 2 to Pocket Talk, who continues to trail at the back as the field mounts the hill. And we'll come to the chute and the 2 black postion rails. Your leader is Jeffrey G. And up and over that one, Hill Tie, right there in second place, and Spirit of Shankly keeping a close eye on things from third. Behind them, Duke de Savoy and Shinobi. Then comes Spoiler Alert and Pocket Talk. Board fence next on the way to Pocock Road. Once again, and Jeffrey G. continues on at the front, but not by much. Hill Tie in second, Spirit of Shankly. Mark Beecher saving ground on the inside right behind them, then Duke de Savoy. Shinobi right next to him, then Pocket Talk has moved up from the back, and just a length at the back, your trailer is Spoiler Alert. 10 lengths gets you the entire field, but it's still Jeffrey G at the front. Hill Tie cruising along to his inside in second place. Duke de Savoy now moving up into contention. As everyone in with a shot here, as they head to the postion rails, and the pace will quicken after they head over the next, and now maybe 7 lengths total to the entire field. And they're all running and jumping, and down the pike they roll. It's still Jeffrey G at the front, but only by a length. There's Hill Tie. Spirit of Shankly just 3/4 of a length off him to the outside. Spoiler Alert now making a run towards the front. Behind them, Pocket Talk and Shinobi, and Duke de Savoy is your trailer. The pace has increased significantly.
To the next before they get to the turn. Hill Tie back into the lead. Jeff G fades into second. There's Spirit of Shankly now heading to the lead on the outside. Can't get there. Hill Tie hanging tough at the front. Spirit of Shankly right behind him. Jeffrey G not out of it yet, as there's just 2 fences left to go. At the front, here's Hill Tie. Still has the Spirit of Shankly right behind. Beecher's got his sights set on the leader, but it's still Hill Tie holding tough as he comes to the board fence at the last. Hill Tie, can he hold on to this? Here comes Spirit of Shankly. Big run from Shinobi down on the inside. 3 miles trick off. Shinobi going best of all, and he's going to get there first. A terrific stretch run by Shinobi to take it by 5. Hill Tie in second. Spirit of Shankly, another 3 lengths in third.
My mom.
And coming back to the tower now, your unofficial winner, the number 3, Irv Naylor's Shinobi. Number 1, Hill Tie in second place. And the number 4, Spirit of Shankly in third. The time 6:17 and 4/5 seconds. And the result is now official. Your winner, the number 3, Irv Naylor's Shinobi. In second place, the number 1, Sportsman's Hall Hill Tie. And in third place, the number 4, Thistledown Farms Spirit of Shankly. The official running time, 6:17 and 4/5 seconds. And joining us for the trophy presentation, the winner receives the Perpetual Trophy donated by the late Mrs. Lewis M. Fisher. The 2018 John Rush Street Memorial, second division, sponsored by Gladden Farm. I'd like to thank Amy Hartman, who's up here presenting, and of course, Finn Maroney. Thank you.
Away here with a couple of bottles of
yeah, I'm very thirsty, Willie.
Sagamore whiskey. You're going to get into that tonight?
Oh, no doubt. Walter,
congratulations. Congratulations. There you go. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back to you to handicap the next race, and we'll talk briefly about the Hunt Cup that's coming up in a few weeks. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm joined here by young Eddie Keaton, who had a wonderful win there on Shinobi. Eddie, your first winner in America?
First winner on the rules, yeah.
Congratulations, and your first time tackling the timber?
I tackled it last weekend. I had 2 rides over timber, but this is my second day doing it.
Tell us a little bit about yourself, Eddie. Your riding experience in Ireland, you won some races over there, and you've made the move to America?
Yeah, I had a good few years riding pint to pints in Ireland, a few rides on the track. I was going well at home, it's just things are drying up at home, so I said I'd give this a go.
Well, congratulations to you, Eddie. You gave that horse a beautiful ride there. You took your time, and you produced him well after the last. He showed a nice kick after the last fence.
Yeah, well, she told me just take my time. She had plenty of toe, just bring him around, settle him around, and he should have enough to go to finish, and he did.
Well done, Eddie, and we'll hope to see you in the Witherns enclosure pretty soon again.
Okay.
Well done.
Thanks.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to grab the famous Irv Naylor real quickly. Irv, how do you feel after that win?
You've got to feel over the moon with that kind of a win.
Irv, you're a huge patron of timber racing in Maryland and throughout the United States. Great to have a horse here like Shinobi, and very well trained by Cathy Nielsen.
Yes, indeed. And the beauty of it is we got 2 or 3 more in the barn that are every bit as good.
Well, they're powerful words there from Irv Naylor. Irv, a quick word on the Maryland Hunt Cup that's coming up in a couple of weeks. You have a very hot live chance in that. Ebenor, how do you feel he's going to go there?
Well, we're not sure we're going to run Ebenor. He's still a very young horse for that race, 8. And most horses are 11, 12 years old. And he could use that extra time to grow and improve his jumping ability. The Maryland Hunt Cup is a is a terribly, terribly tough race. It's 4 miles. Every fence is 5 feet. And if you make a mistake, you pay a terrible price for it, whether it's the horse or the rider or the post or everything. And a lot of them are everything because they go all the way down and bury the rider. And that's what happened to me 16 years ago. I got buried under a horse, and you don't get up from those so quickly.
Or if you're still enjoying the steeplechase racing, you're one of the biggest owners we have, if not the biggest. Do you get as much enjoyment out of seeing them winning on your colours?
Oh, of course. It's the horses that you have to give every opportunity to win. I always build a plan around the maximum earnings that a horse can make. And if he can run in a $100,000 race, why would we run him in a $50,000 race?
There you go. Well, ladies and gentlemen, congratulations to Irv Naylor, huge supporter of steeplechase racing in America, and deserves every success he has. Congratulations, Irv.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm joined here by Mike Finney and Walter Puttifer here. We're going to go through the runners for the last race here, the 4th race, apprentice race, and then we're going to go on handicap them shortly afterwards.
It's always an interesting contest here because it's a melange. You got some old, new, and starting off with the defending champion. Justin just got this horse last year and rode him with a lot of confidence here last year. Went out to the front, which is where he likes to be, and the horse just did it. I don't know if what happened earlier is a good sign. Not that him repeating twice in a row would be not exactly what I'd expect, but it's an awfully nice horse.
And Mike, front-running performances seem to have been the key to success here today. We saw the first 2 runners opened up wide on the field. Do you think Class Indian can have a repeat performance of a similar sort of a run that he had last year, opened up on the field again?
If he doesn't get it done, I don't think that I would lay the blame at the horse's doorstep. He's got plenty of horses. If he can hold on to it and keep him active and keep him engaged, I think he's got a real shot.
Walter, the 2-horse.
The 2-horse Pierre du Roy, Alex Leventhal. This horse was bought in England by Hamish Macaulay, brother of Archie, who won the maiden race so impressively. Bought by Alex. This is a really high-class individual, this horse. I actually can't see him being beaten today. I think he's...
Is this any better?
Any better?
Testing, testing, testing.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm joined here by Michael Finney and Walter Puttifer. We're going to speak quickly about the runners in the last race, the 4th race here today, the Apprentice Timber.
Well, we'll start with the number 1, and he is the defending champion. Willie Dowling found this horse for Justin, and he rode him strong effort last year, had him out at the front, and the horse rewarded him with a really wonderful victory. Whether he can repeat that or not, he's got plenty of horse. The only question is, with the ground this year and the rest of that field, will be able to carry it off twice in a row.
Of course, Michael, front runners seem to be the key to success here today. We saw the first 2 winners opening up wide on the field early. A similar performance here could be a key to success for Justin Baitoff in Class Indian.
Absolutely. It didn't work quite as well for Vintage Vinny, but I think the ground has demonstrated it. You can get that advantage and you're determined to hold it. It's not easy to get to the leader today.
Walter, the 2-horse?
2-horse Pierre du Roy, Alex Leventhal owns and rides this horse. This horse was bought by Hamish Macaulay, brother of Archie, in Ireland, I think 18 months ago. It's a really seriously nice recruit to timber racing. I can't really see it being beaten. Alex, still learning his trade over timber, but he's improving rapidly. Actually had a winner over steeplechasing at the end of last season. He's buying nice horses from England. This might be the best one he's got. I really like this horse. I like it.
Won a point down in Virginia with this horse, didn't he? So
yeah.
Partnerships work.
And also this the 2-horse Pierre du Roy. I watched him running at Elkridge last week. Had a very nice run there, a very nice prep for today. So it'll be really interesting to see how he goes here today. He should be fit. He's a young rider. Alex Leventhal is a great supporter of the game, and he's bought himself a really nice horse here, and I agree with Walter. I think he's going to be pretty close in the finish here. The 3-horse is the Grey Lake Stables, trained by Stephanie Dowling. Walter, you're very close ties to that stable. Ridden by Brian Cullinan, a young Irish amateur, having his early stint here for him in America. And what did you see by Tappet? And Tappet is more of a horse you see horses running in the Kentucky Derby, but what did you see is a horse that I've actually followed quite a bit. He's still a maiden, had a very good run here last year in this race. I believe he finished 3rd for young Annie Yeager that day and jumped very well. So he seems to like this course, and I think the footing will be to his liking today also, and I'm looking for a big run from him there also today.
Well, I can tell you, if the number 4 gets this done, you will hear it from the crowd. You got some local favorites here. Nancy Knox, been ridden by Bethany Baumgartner. And Nancy has a knack for winning this race. He did it with Nick Carter and about 3-4 years ago, and trains locally. Could be a little home cooking, and it would be a very popular victory on the Manor.
It would indeed. Walter, the 5 horse.
Acquiesce, Kathy Nielsen looking for a quick fire double here.
Double with Irv Naylor.
With an Eddie Keating again, this up and coming
Same connections.
Professional amateur, I would call him, and this horse I think will run Pierre de Roy very, very close. He's a real nice horse. I think he won here. Did he win here last year? Or he has won under rules, this horse. I think you might. Have you ridden him, Willie? I'm not sure.
I have not ridden him, but I'm sure Irv Naylor, he does like to taste success, and I'm sure he won't mind visiting the winner's circle once again today.
I don't think he'll mind, and I think he's got a good chance to run Pierre de Roy close.
And of course, we do know Kathy Nielsen's horses are fitting well. Had a nice performance there in the last race, so he will be one to be watching in this race. We're going to go to the number 6, Outplaying, trained by Forrest Kelly and also ridden by Forrest Kelly. Forrest is a great amateur here in Maryland. He loves to take part in these timber races, and he goes out there and he buys the right type of horse for himself to ride, and he just goes out there and has a lot of fun, and we'll be hoping that he can hit the board there today, or if not, maybe he might get it and put it in the bag.
Yeah, this really is an amateur thing. You've got another amateur owner rider, Donald Cochran, who had this horse, and he's been to a lot of point-to-points. He's certainly seasoned enough, and Forrest would love to win a race right here close to home.
Love to, yeah.
So the 7 horse?
Another Kathy Nelson horse. He's got plenty in the barn. Don't know much about this horse. Did see it run at Elkridge Hartford, but unfortunately I was calling the race, and it's really hard for me to watch a race and call it at the same time in terms of, unless somebody does something like our opening race today.
This is a very interesting horse, this Pure. He's got very in and out form. He's on a good day. He's almost a stakes performer, this horse. I don't know whether he finished second in an allowance PA Hunt Cup 18 months ago, not last year, the year before. Ran terrible in a couple of point-to-points and then ran very well Elkridge Hartford last week. This horse, when he's on a going day, loves this ground. He's got Dean Shinnett on him, and Dean's another Irish rider just come over. He's actually living with Eddie. Be nice for him, Archie and Eddie, to form the treble today, but this horse is not without a squeak. The tote board would give him no chance, but I'd give him a bit of a good chance.
There you go, folks, and the number 8 horse is With Her, trained just down the road here by Todd Wyatt.
It is, in fact, Blair, the owner got jocked off.
The owner got jocked off.
Finished second twice, and Todd couldn't have it.
Eric Peretz is on board, and Eric's been winning a lot of point-to-point, so he's a rider in form coming into this apprentice race. So
it only took this horse 2 tries to break a sanctioned maiden. I mean, in this race, I'm not sure I would have taken him in the feature, but in this race, he could be as likely as anybody else. Eric's riding real well.
So, Mike, let me ask you the question. You have $10 to put on here. Who's it going on? Give me the winner.
I'm going with my heart on this. I got to go with the kid. I'm going with Beethoff.
He's going with Beethoff. Class Indian, folks, for Mike. Walter?
I'm going with my heart, and it's Alex Leventhal and Pierre de Roy. These owner riders, it'd be great to see them win on their own horses, wouldn't it? It'd be absolutely fantastic. It's a really good race. This
is a really good race here, actually, for the finale today. The horse I'm going to go with is Todd Wyatt's With Her. Mike, you said he was impressive in the point-to-points. I know he's fit. Todd's horses have been running very well, and he will like the footing here today. This is a very, very good race on paper, and we're very excited to see how it's going to unfold.
And, I mean, cross-entered into the feature, so something to like in that too.
So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. We've handicapped the race. Mike's going to call him, and we'll speak to you right after.
It takes great dedication and focus to leave your mark. Brown Advisory works with individuals, families, and institutions to do just that. With offices in Austin, Baltimore, Boston, Chapel Hill, London, New York, Washington, D.C., and Wilmington, Delaware, Brown Advisory is committed to delivering first-class performance, thoughtful advice, and the highest level of service to its clients around the globe. Visit brownadvisory.com and see how they can help you achieve your financial goals.
set. Let me know when you're ready.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm joined here by a very special guest, JB Secor. JB, you won the Manor almost 50 years ago. You're back today.
Almost 50 years ago, they used to run the My Ladies Manor over our family farm and over the Pierce estate. Rossi Pierce, who's the chief big head honcho here, they run it over the Pierce property, my family property, and Polly Riggs' property. And I wound up winning on a gift horse, a horse that I used to show in Aiken. And when I left school in Aiken, the horse started stopping. And a good friend of the family is called Pete Boswick, said, give that horse to the Secors. The only one he likes is JB. And I wound up winning my first race under rules at the over at the old family place. And my uncle, who was a superb veteran horseman, Jackie Bosley, told me the next day, I was so pleased with myself, he said, all I can tell you, the good horses make good riders. He said, you did everything wrong out on a race course that a jockey could do, and the horse still made you look good. I said, well, what did I do? He said, you went to the lead. He said, you made the lead. You made 3 different runs at the horse. He said, you let him almost come back to barn like I told you he was going to do, and he still made you look like you were a good rider. I learned that day when I was 17 years old, it isn't riders that make horses, it's horses that make riders. I want to give a contribute to the fact that of my racing career, I was very blessed to come up under some really good coaches. I had Jackie Bosley, who was my idol, Patty Smithwick. I had Tiger Bennett, who was the starter, and old Tiger used to go down and say, Tom Voss and I were always riding, he said, Tom, you ready? JB, you ready? Let him go. He was a little biased to it all, but Tom and I stole a lot of starts, and we were very fortunate. Much Ado was a real good horse that but I was so proud of myself till the next day, and Jackie Bosley sat down in the tack room and said, all I can say was, that's a goddamn good horse. You did everything wrong on a race course that a rider could do, and he still won.
No, JB, the Manor Steeplechase course, obviously it was run in a different venue before, but the fences have been difficult to tackle. You talked to your horse, this gift horse that you won the race on, what came from a showing background. Do you think that helped him in jumping these fences? Because they take a bit of jumping.
To be honest with you, we could run through them and get away with bloody murder over there at the old course. They were little matchstick fences, and a lot of bad horses won races there. I don't think a bad horse is going to win a race over here at this new course. It takes some jumping. These hills are testy, and the course was well designed, and it takes a good horse to win around here nowadays. At the old Manor was a fast course, and they'd really run and jump, but it was nowhere, to me, in my mind, it was nowhere the test of a timber horse getting ready to run the Maryland Hunt Cup that this course would be, Willie.
JB, ground conditions today are drying out as the day goes. We've seen a new track record set here today. Have you been impressed by these horses' performances?
Yes, I have. I was really impressed with the winner of the first race. That horse just was looping along out there having fun, and looked as though that Neil Morris brought 2 horses ready to run, brought him up out of Virginia ready to run, and they both came through for him today. I was extremely impressed with Chris Gracie's ride in the second race. When that horse got a little tired, he said there'll be another day, and he showed a lot of horsemanship. The horse that there's in the third race I bred, Hilltie, he ran a good race for his first time over big fences and demanding course. He ran a good race.
Hilltie looks like a winner waiting to happen for sure.
Yeah, he's sitting on the bench ready to go. I named him after a good horse that Patty Smithwick won the Gold Cup on two years in a row. Belonged to Turney's mother, and everybody ridiculed me, gave me a lot of hell for naming him that, but thank God he's turned it out. But it isn't the first time they've ever given me hell or ridiculed me, so I've kind of gotten used to it at this stage of life.
Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. JB Secor, the easiest interview I will ever have This man just does it all himself. Pleasure here to stand here beside you, and congratulations on your win almost 50 years ago.
Yeah, well, all I can say is that anybody that's ever done it for more than 2 or 3 races knows it's the horses that do it, and we go along for the ride. And it's nice to meet you, because I've seen you have a nice amount of success over here, and it's good to meet you here at the mic instead of somewhere else.
Thank you very much. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back to you with the finale.
Sponsored by Janie Montgomery Scott. The number 1, the defeated Batoff's class, trained by Willie Dowling, ridden by Justin Batoff. The number 2 is Stray Light Racing's Pied de Roy, trained by Billy Santoro, Alex Leventhal, the owner rider. The number 3 is What Did You See, owned by Grey Lake Stable, Stephanie Dowling, the trainer, Ryan Cullinane in the irons. The number 4 is Equinox Stables Bright Monba, trained by Nancy Knox. Bethany Baumgardner is the rider. The number 5 is Irv Naylor's Akies, trained by Kathy Nelson. Eddie Keating rides. The number 6, Donald Cochran's Outplaying, trained and ridden by popular local Forrest Kelly. The number 7 is Sycamore Run Farms Pured It, trained by Kathy Nelson, ridden by Dean Sinnott. And as the horses are on their way out of the paddock, here's the last horse entered on the day. The number 8 is Blair Wyatt's Whittor, trained by her husband Todd, and ridden by Eric Perrette. That's your field now on course for our 4th and concluding race of the afternoon, the John D. Shapiro Memorial, sponsored by Janie Montgomery Scott. And while the field is on their way to the start, one of our favorite new sponsors here this afternoon at the Manor races, Sagamore Spirit Rye Whiskey. Spirit flows from a spring house built in 1909 at Maryland's Sagamore Farm. It's naturally filtered spring water fed from a limestone aquifer. The same water that fuels the champion Sagamore Thoroughbreds also cuts the rich spice of their rye, creating a spirit as revolutionary as America's risk-taker and history makers. The story is one of passion, of old meeting new, and crafting endless American whiskey. Well, that should certainly find an audience here on the Manor. And horses on course now for our last race of the afternoon, the John D. Shapiro Memorial. This is an apprentice amateur affair sponsored by Janie Montgomery Scott. Victor? Concluding race of the afternoon, John D. Shapiro Memorial, sponsored by Janie Montgomery Scott. The field is at the start and under starters' orders. And the flag is up. They're in line. Turning towards the front, and they're off. And as you might expect, actually it's Vitor with the lead at the first, but quickly joined by Class Indian, who rolls up alongside of him and now takes over the lead. Class Indian and Vitor, those two dueling as they went out of sight for a brief time along the bottom. And Justin Batoff and the gray Class Indian, who we expect to see first as they come up the rise, and that's exactly who we have on the lead by 6. Class Indian and Justin Batoff going right out. Eric Peretz and Vitor in second place, and then Alex Leventhal and Pierre DeRoy as the field heads through the cover for the first time and onto the water fence. And Class Indian is your leader by 6. Vitor in second place, 6 lengths over Pierre DeRoy. Then comes What Did You See? The field now pulls up along Pocock Road, heads to the board fence, and gets ready for the hill. And it's Class Indian and Justin Batoff, 5 up over Vitor in second place. Enjoys an 8-length advantage over Pierre DeRoy. Behind him, What Did You See? Then comes Pured It, Bright Mamba, a Key S, and outplaying is your trailer by 2. As the field makes the turn back towards the stacks fence. And as it's been from the start, Class Indian and Justin Batoff still up by 6. Eric Peretz and Vitor tracking intently there in second place, and it's a gap of 8. Back to Alex Leventhal and Pierre DeRoy as the field slides once again back into the cover and gets ready to head up the hill. 4 lengths as he comes to the post and rail, and Vitor right onto his back quarters, now just 2 lengths in second place, and another gap of 7 to Pierre DeRoy. Then on the outside, brought Mamba and Bethany Baumgartner to the outside of What Did You See? Then comes a Key S. He's got a length and a half on Pured It and outplaying just a length behind him. As Justin Batoff now coming into the chute, heading towards the steward stand, and it's the black post and rails, and up and over that one, Class Indian. Still leading it, Vitor. Going very easily there, 5 lengths in second place. He's got 5 lengths over Pierre DeRoy and Alex Leventhal. Then comes What Did You See? Between horses on the inside. To the outside, Pured It, then a gap of 3, Bright Mamba, and outplaying still at the back as the field heads to the board fence on their way to Pocock Road, and it's still Class Indian and Justin Batoff. Speed on the front has worked a couple of times today and trying to follow that blueprint, but Eric Peretz and Vitor keeping him well in range. It's now just a 3-length advantage as they make the turn back towards the steward stand and Jarrettsville Pike. Now saving ground nicely there. Vitor and Eric Peretz contending for the lead with Class Indian as they come to the next post and rail.
Victor and Class Indian take that together. Alex Leventhal right behind those two, only 3 lengths behind on Pied de Roy. Here comes Puritit to his outside, then Outplaying has moved up. What did you see is come back, and at the back, it's Bright Mamba and a Key S as the pace quickens heading down the pike, and at the front, dueling, it's Class Indian and Justin Tough to the inside. To the outside, that's Victor and Eric Peretz, and they are going at it hammer and tongs as they move on to the stack fence. 8 lengths clear of Pied de Roy, then comes Puritit, and the rest of the field running as a pack, Outplaying Bright Mamba, Key S, and what did you see is all the way at the back. But now we've got a new leader, and it's Victor and Eric Peretz. He's gone clear by 4 lengths of Justin Batoff, and Class Indian look like they've had enough as they come to the second last. In command, it's Eric Peretz and Victor. Class Indian trying to hang on in second place. What a nice game, old horse. And here comes Alex Leventhal and Pied de Roy as they come to the last. It's Victor with the advantage. The only one with a shot is Pied de Roy and Alex Leventhal. He goes to the whip. Can he get there in time? He's got a lot of work to do because Eric Peretz and Victor are cruising through the stretch. They're going to take this one by 7 at the wire over Pied de Roy in second, close for third, but looks like a Key S on the far side of the track. Oops, almost didn't. Coming back to the steward stand now, your unofficial winner, the number 8, Blair Wyatt's Victor. In second place, the number 2, Pied de Roy. The number 5, Aki S in third. And the result is now official in a time of 6:01 and 1/5 seconds. Your winner of the 4th race, the John D. Shapiro Memorial, sponsored by Janie Montgomery Scott, is the number 8, Blair Wyatt's Victor. Trained by Todd Wyatt, ridden by Eric Peretz. In second place, the number 2, Straylight Racing's Pied de Roy. Rounding out the placings in third, the number 5, Irv Naylor's Aki S. But congratulations to your winner, the number 8, Blair Wyatt's Victor. Time 6:01 and 1/5 seconds. Thank you.
Do you have the hat stand down there? You're tight, Damon. You don't have much to go.
go.
And there you have it, folks. The Apprentice Steeplechase has just finished. We had the winner, locally trained here by Todd Wyatt, with her, very impressive winner, ridden by Eric Peretz. And coming in second, we had Pierre Duroy, trained by Billy Santoro and ridden by Alex Leventhal. He looked like he had a really good ride on that one. And the Irv Naylor, Caddy Nielsen trained Aqueous, came in third for young Eddie Keaton. Great race there to watch, folks. Class Indian, of course, went to his customary front running role. Didn't go as hard as they did in earlier races, but the field didn't really let him get away also. Widder came and challenged him, 3 from home, and it looked like Eric Peretz had a lot of horse coming to the second last. He let him go on, and they weren't able to get him back at that stage. Couple of rails knocked down, but I believe everybody's okay, and that was a great renewal of the Apprentice race. We'll be right back to you.
We'll make the presentation. Once your winner of the 4th, the number 8, Blair Wyatt Vittor, trained by Todd Wyatt and ridden by Eric Peretz to victory in a time of 6:01 and 1/5 seconds. In second place was the number 2, Straylight Racing's Pierre Duroy. And in third, the number 5, Aqueous, owned by Irv Naylor.
Microphone for the other one. Mary Ellen, could you bring the microphone over, please?
It takes great dedication and focus to leave your mark. Brown Advisory works with individuals, families, and institutions to do just that. With offices in Austin, Baltimore, Boston, Chapel Hill, London, New York, Washington, D.C., and Wilmington, Delaware, Brown Advisory is committed to delivering first-class performance, thoughtful advice, and the highest level of service to its clients around the globe. Visit brownadvisory.com and see how they can help you achieve your financial goals.
Very exciting win there with her. Very well ridden by Eric Perez. How are you feeling? It's a local track, just down the road from you. It must be great to win here.
We've been trying to win a race here for years, and it's just so nice. Elkridge Harford, we hunt with them and have a lot of support from the farmers and all the landowners around here, so we're lucky. It's a big day for us.
Now Witter is a 10-year-old. I did give him a hurdle start for you earlier in his career, but has he had an injury or anything that he's been working with? I mean, 10 years old is quite an age, and he seems to be pretty fresh on those legs still.
Yeah, you know, he's lightly raced only because he has had a few injuries, and we just, you know, we've always believed in him, and he's been good to us. He's a nice horse. He can be competitive in the right spots, and we've always liked him.
And Mike, you got a question?
I do have a question. I was excited. I thought I was going to get to see Blair run last week at Elkridge Harford. She had some tremendous success on this course with Wood Whistle, but I heard she finished second and got jocked off by the trainer.
We're going to go to Blair for the answer on that one. Blair, you got jocked off?
No, the owner stood herself down. Yeah, I was never riding this one. I rode Raven, but I'm not riding my own horse. I can't do that anymore.
Well, I must say Eric Perez was a great substitute. He gave the horse a lovely ride, saved the ground on the inside on the last turn, and he looked like he had a lot of horse left after the last fence.
Yeah, he's a pretty nice horse. He's got a pretty good turn of foot for a timber horse, and yeah, Eric gave him a beautiful ride. He saved a ton of ground, hooked up with Justin, kind of put him away, jumped the last two well, and kicked on.
Well, there you have it, folks. The winning trainer, very proud local man here, Talwaya and Blair. Delighted for your success. Very well deserved. And Mike.
Great way to conclude this afternoon's racing.
Thank you.
Well, there you have it, folks, from HCP Sports. Wonderful day's racing here at the Manor, and we'll be back to see you at Willowdale in a few weeks.
concludes our afternoon of racing. We'd like to ask you to be patient exiting the course, and we hope you have a safe trip home. Please remember to support all of our partners and sponsors who made this day possible. Without them, we could not hope to showcase the leading steeplechase horses and riders from the Mid-Atlantic region. We do plan to visit the Topiary Gardens, a nationally known Harford County gem. And finally, we must ask you to remember that the racecourse gates will be closed and locked at 5:30. If you have tickets to attend the after party, please make sure you follow the signs to the Elkridge Harford Hunt Club. On behalf of the Manor Foundation and the Manor Race Committee, thank you and good evening. One last announcement, Laura Eleanor Rossmall, if you're planning on driving home, you're going to have to be careful. We've got your license here at the steward's stand. If you'd like to have it back, please come and collect it. Laura Eleanor Rossmall, we have your license at the steward's stand. And one final reminder, the party is just across the street at the Elkridge Harford Hunt Club Clubhouse. You will not be leaving the field. You don't have to cross the road. Just follow the signs to your right to the Elkridge Harford Hunt Club if you're heading to the after party. So once again, thanks for joining us here this afternoon for brilliant racing and Chamber of Commerce weather. We hope to see you at the Grand National next week, and once again, please be careful on your way home.
Washington, D.C.
Every race got slower. Yep. Now, I don't know if they were all the same distance, but I think they were. Interesting.
It takes great dedication and focus to leave your mark. Brown Advisory works with individuals, families, and institutions to do just that. With offices in Austin, Baltimore, Boston, Chapel Hill, London, New York, Washington, D.C., and Wilmington, Delaware, Brown Advisory is committed to delivering first-class performance, thoughtful advice, and the highest level of service to its clients around the globe. Visit brownadvisory.com and see how they can help you achieve your financial goals.
Thank you very much for watching today's webcast, live from Moncton, Maryland, the My Ladies Manor Steeplechase Race. This was brought to you, the webcast brought to you by Brown Advisories. We are so pleased to be our sponsor, and with thanks to them. Production by HCP Sports, and we will see you again soon.